Right, welcome back to Adventure 82. If you've seen the teaser, you'll know where I am. If you haven't, then I found another railway. I've just been in and had a look inside the gift shops, had to organise tickets and stuff for us to go on the train. They have the most incredible collection I've ever seen of old railway train lanterns. So I thought what I'd do first is just show you these because they're absolutely stunning. So let's go have a look at those. Look at that. These are some stunning lamps. I've got a couple at home. Actually, mine are quite similar to this style. I've got one like this, and I've got one that's actually made of brass. But these are so cool. That one, I believe, actually looks like it's the traffic lights like you used to get. You know, hazard warning lights used to get the holes in the road. These are really cool. If I could get a collection like that of those lights, that'd be so awesome. Also, I'll just show you quickly, some other thing that's really quite cool is...
Sorry.
You know, you can get there but like
I
say, we get there at 10 past.
That's a crash and a half.
And it leaves at 11.
Wonder where that's from though. Right, anyway, so way else that way. We'll be getting the train at 10:30. So we'll see if we can get a shot of the train coming in, because that's the best one to get. And yeah, I'll see you on the platform.
Pretty vicious.
Right. So as you can see, today we have a diesel rail car, is what's running on this train, which would be quite cool. There's different diesels, so it might well be a different train we end up getting back. It's what we get on the way there, which should be quite interesting as well. So the trains come from that way, just behind me, under the train bridge there. That's the direction we'll be going off in. Back that way is towards Northallerton. Actually no, that's way to Northallerton, so that's the way we'll be going. Ends up at Scruton, I think. This way it continues on to Redmere. At the moment they're not running to Redmere because part of the track needs restoration because the ground is starting to give way due to erosion, and they're trying to raise the funds to fix up the track. So if you're a fan of heritage railways and you've got a spare few quid, donate it to Wensleydale Railway and help them get back to Redmere. But otherwise, it's all about this stunning rail car, and hopefully the view from the rail car, the ride will be quite cool as well. I've never been on a rail car before, so this should be quite a new experience. Right, on the back of the station, you can see where the waiting room and stuff used to be. This area is now actually a tea room. Some private houses on the end there, and then there's a staff room on the very end. And then this side would have been, is now the toilets, would have been part of the workings of it, because back in the day, before the railway station was closed down, because the whole line was closed down in 1959, it did originally have an engine shed, turntable, and a lot of work went on here for the railway, but these days those have all been demolished, so it's only the main station buildings now that are left. The section that's left running between actually goes up as far as Northallerton. They never run that far because troop running up to Northallerton proved problematic with National Rail. So on certain days of the year they run up as far as, is it Scruton, I think is how you pronounce it. But most rail services will run from Leyburn here up, and they will stop at Leeming Bar Station. So that's the length of the railway. I hope at some point to restore the entire length up to Garsdale, where it used to run to. But there's various obstacles to overcome before they can get there, including, if they were to get that far, getting as far as Aysgarth, which would include replacing the now missing bridge that used to cross the Aysgarth Falls. But right, I'll see you guys on the train. Right, so train's due to leave in about 5 minutes. Train stops at various stations on the way. You don't have to do the full length. So we're going up to Leeming Bar, and then we're going to get a separate train from Leeming Bar to Scruton, because there's a separate train that takes you the 8-minute journey up to Scruton. It does do also a local service to people, so it is actually probably the easiest way to get from, say, Leyburn to Bidale, rather than driving, like, I think it's about half an hour or so from where we are anyway in West Whitton, up to Bidale. So there's also quite a regular service, because it's not just a normal heritage line, it is actually a commuter line as well to a point. So Bidale, which is about halfway, and we've got another about half an hour, 20 minutes until we get to the last stop at Leeming Bar. By now you should have had a chance to see actually Erica's filming work, showing you the stations that we passed on the way. You'll notice on the way down, you should have done, there's a few abandoned stations. I will, hopefully, if I remember, I'll go through with you the abandoned stations, what they were. Right, so I'm back at home. What I thought I'd do for you before we go any further is we'd have a look at the route of the line, which bit's open, which is the bit we'll be looking at today, and what bits we'll be looking at in the future, which are the closed bits. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to be using this, which is the Wensleydale Railway book. Now, I got this off of Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still available, but I've been told that you used to be able to get it from the Wensleydale Railway itself. I haven't seen one in Leyburn, but as of yet, without going to the stations, I don't know. But do have a look there. Otherwise, I know you can find it on Amazon. You can also find it on eBay. But yeah, so right, so this is the line as it was in its heyday. So you've got the terminus here at Northallerton where it started, and then that used to terminate at the other end here at Garsdale. So there was a section here at Hawes where it would switch from being an NER line, which was all this section along here. From Hawes this direction was actually the Midland line. Apperset Viaduct is still, there's also a tunnel, an abandoned tunnel there, which you may go look at some point. But all this section here, that's not a solid colour, that's the disused section of the line. And then this solid black colour is the used section of the line. Now, generally as a rule, the line, although it runs all the way up to Northallerton, running up to Northallerton, as I've previously mentioned, is very problematic for the railway. So they tend to drive, they set their main section that they run tends to be from Leyburn here, and that goes up and generally will stop here at Leeming Bar. They do run every now and again what the class is the dark blue timetable, in which case it sits at Leeming Bar for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then you can continue on, it will terminate Scruton, which is where the main offices now are of the Wensleydale Railway now. The Northallerton station is actually known as Northallerton East, the one they go to, or that it's connected to. Is very, very rarely used. We will go up and have a look at that at some point, but not right now. You'll notice as we came up, as we went from Leyburn, we passed 2 other stations. There's Harmby and there's Constable Burton before Fing Hall here. And then here, there's also Newton, Le Willows and Crack Hall before Bidale and Leeming Bar. You'll see that like there's a couple of abandoned stations we came past as we went along the line there that Erica filmed for you. Some of those, like I think the Constable Burton one is now privately owned. Newton Le Willows, as far as I'm aware, is privately owned. Harmby, I think, is the one that's completely abandoned, and Crack Hall, as far as I'm aware, has been demolished, but we'll look closer into the abandoned bits, like I say, later on. But that's the basics of how the railway used to work. The only reason this section didn't close in 1959, as I think I previously mentioned, it might be later on in the video, is due to mainly to military and industrial use. But yeah, so anyway, back to me at the railway.
We will be covering, like I say, the most abandoned bits of the line as well as is possible. But for now, we're sitting at Bidale station. Bidale's a very nice stop to get off at. It's a little village town, and there's a really good marketplace where you can do shopping and things there. So if you do want to get off and do a little bit of shopping or just get a sample of village life, or just visit the little villages throughout the North Yorkshire Dales, because you're up that way, you know, this is a good way to do that. So it's worth noting that if there's any dodgy bits of this video, it may well have been filmed by Charlotte, because she's getting more into you can tell it's not rail car bobbing up and down. Yeah, you can, if there's any dodgy bits. She's trying to learn how to film because she wants to do her own YouTube channel, which is bigger. So she decided that filming bits and pieces for Adventure 82 is the easiest way to do that. The problem with that is she keeps trying to steal my GoPro, which is what I do most of my filming on now. And yeah, that's not so much help. But yeah, so as I was saying, so the whole Wensleydale line that we're riding now was actually a spur of the East Coast Main Line, which was originally built by the NER. The NER built this line up as far as Hawes, which they reached in the late 1800s, and then proceeded to link that up to what was then the Midland line, the Midland Main Line up through Garsdale there, and connect that up from Hawes to Garsdale, and that's how the Wensleydale line came to be. It played an important role during the Second World War period, where it was used as a military railway line, and then in 1959 the line was shut down in its entirety, and it was only at the very last minute when the military came in and turned around and said that they wanted to keep a section of the line open, that this section of the line that you can ride now as part of the Wensleydale Railway managed to keep afloat. It's now privately owned as a heritage railway, as you can probably tell. As I mentioned previously, there's ongoing work to restore some more of the line. There's going to be hurdles for them to overcome with that, like I mentioned as well, like the bridge over Aysgarth Falls. In fact, the Aysgarth Falls station they did own but had to sell a couple of years ago to produce funding to keep this section of the line running. So that's now privately owned. It's owned by a owner of a well-known train firm who runs mainline trains. So there's that to contend with. But they have ambition, they just don't have the money. Much like if you've ever been on the Yorkshire Moors Railway, they rely heavily on funding. The Yorkshire Moors Railway are quite fortunate in the fact that they managed to benefit from a mainline link, because there's mainline trains that pull in at one of their stations, actually two of their stations, whereas their mainline link they were hoping to have when they first took this over at Northallerton never actually came to be. Like I said, it was just problematic from the beginning. If I can find out more information as to what the problems were, I'll put that in for you, but until then, yeah, we're off to Leeming Bar. Top south. Right, she's made it to Scruton. That's the train we came in on. You can see here the line continues off up that way where it used to go to Northallerton. That's obviously not run anymore. The station is 1940s themed, which is why everybody's dressed and it's painted and decored out the way it is. But it's really quite cool. You've even got the luggage suitcases, and the train lanterns, the flowers, even some milk churns are outside. You've even got some on the corner for effect as well. It's really quite a nice setup. Even down, I've just noticed, you've got the old adverts still on the outside. Look at that. Look at that. So you've got a Grand Prix and 20 other highest awards for pairs. You've got Blaze trying to dodge the camera. And you've got some here, look, old adverts for going boating and bathing in Bridlington on Plays Medium Navy Cut and going to guess they were cigarettes, and Lifebuoy soap. You've got a Fry's Milk Chocolate sign just there on the side of the building where Blade's coming out. And then you've got an information board here about Scruton Station. And you've got here, see what we've just been travelling. See, you've got Leyburn, Finghall, Bidale, Leeming Bar, Scruton. There are a couple of stations in between there. But like I said, if I remembered, I should have covered that from home. Of course, I've got it back at home. But otherwise, we shall now go have a look inside the station. So this was in quite the state.
Oh God, yeah. And we have electricians, brickers, plumbers.
Wow. To go from that to what you can see outside now, that's an awful lot of work. You've got massive. It's like an entire bush just being removed from the building.
Yes, excellent.
So this was literally just kind of left to kind of rot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Come this way. That's what it looks like.
So this,
Platform. And that
yeah.
is that, which is a signal box.
Oh god.
Yeah.
So you could, that just looks like a giant bush. It doesn't even look like a signal box.
Oh, that's ours, that's ours.
So did you know the signal box was there, did you?
No.
So that was a surprise to you as well.
Once the villagers. But this was the ladies' waiting room.
Wow.
And then in here that's their toilet, which is a compostable one. So we've
Right.
had to put compostable. There's a toilet just round there,
Okay.
so which we need to clear out.
Yeah, because modern plumbing wasn't the same then, was it?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Blaze. What is that?
Smell it.
It's like soap.
Yeah, carbolic. Woman
Alright.
says, reminds me of school.
That's quite. This is impressive though. And then all this glasswork is for the effect of the age of the station.
All that glasswork we found on the site.
That's all being found as you were clearing it.
Yeah.
So you just kept it, cleaned it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And you've got a few pictures of Queen Victoria hanging around as well.
Yeah.
She used to get a
You
lot.
see, this is now, we based this
Right.
on 1910.
1910. Right. Okay.
Leaning Bar's 1923,
Right.
Bedale's 1930,
Right.
and Leyburn's 1940.
Also based on different decades.
Yeah.
And I can't do it. So I don't think you might be able to do it.
Oh, okay. So they've all got. There's a theory, but there's like a theme to all of the stations.
Yes, yeah.
What time is it, please?
Right, so we're just going back now to Leeming Bar. I just want to say thank you to Bill, who was kind enough to show us around inside the station there. He's one of the originals who brought the track into fruition after it had been abandoned, so thank you very much for that. There's a lot of stories to do with this line and this railway, and a lot of it's linked to the Ministry of Defence and to farming, as I've learned. It played a very important role to the people up here, most definitely, through industry, especially from the Leeming Bar area, which I'll touch more on when we get to Leeming Bar station. But yeah, it's been a good day so far, and like I say again, thank you to Bill for that. Right, so we're now back down at Leeming Bar station. We're about to go in the buffet car and get some sort of lunch. But whilst we're here, I thought I'd go through with you some of the stuff I've learned down at Scruton. So Leeming Bar was one of the main stations on the line, and it was also one of the main money makers essentially for the line, because a lot of industry came in through here. So there was a big sawmill for a while here that used it, which used it to also get their wood in and out. There was butchers here, or butchers down in Northallerton that bought a brewery up here, and then the beer used to be shipped in and out on the railways. The military, even now, still occasionally send military trains up here, but a lot more back in the day. And yeah, it was very industrial. Farmers with their milk used to do that, used to send cattle up and down the lines constantly. So Leeming Bar was a proper heart and soul of the entire line. So this went through a few periods in its life. So originally it was made part of the NER as when it was born in the 1800s. It then became part of the LNER as time went on, because obviously the railway companies were merged together into two major companies to make life a bit easier, simplicity and such. So all these are themed around different areas. So Scruton, where we were, that is based on a 1910 version of the line stations. Up here where we are now in Leeming Bar is based on the 1920s era, and then going up into Leyburn is the 1940s, and then between there you've got Bedale, which is 1930s. So each train station represents a different decade. But yeah, so this is why you'll get the different colour differences. Painting, decoration stuff is all changes depending on what decade's being represented by that station. It's a fascinating line and a lot of stories. And if you're lucky enough to come here on the dark blue timetable, which is the one that goes down to Scruton, you can learn some fascinating stuff by the people down there. But right, for now I'm going to go grab some lunch and then we'll see what else is going on. Right, you'll have to pardon the wind noise. I'm sure there will be some, but we're going to be leaving Leeming Bar soon, going back home. So just to show you, see they've got an actual engine workshop here as well in Leeming Bar, where they fix up the old trains, the old diesel trains, park them up, service them. They do that all up themselves. But what I thought would also be quite interesting, if I take you to the end of the platform here. First of all, I love these old intercity carriages. I wasn't fortunate enough to have a ride on an intercity train in its heyday because, well, I didn't live here. I lived in Jersey, so I wasn't able to use trains as a child, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, aside from the intercity trains, there's two things I wanted to tell you guys about before we go. Right, one, as you can see there, some of the old stock up there, old diesels and things. That's all trains that they're in the process of doing up at some point. There's actually a track they want to lay down at Scruton, because Scruton originally had two sidings off the main track, which is now still there. And the other interesting thing, which I love at the moment, is if you notice this when I was filming at Scruton, across the way from the platform there's actually a signal box not on its feet, just like this one here, kinda. Right, well, that's because that signal box is actually due to go all the way down here to Leyburn, where it's going to be put in place right next to the road overbridge before it went down to Redmere, where once upon a time the signal box would have stood. So there's still a lot of restoration going on around here. But yeah, Wensleydale Railway, stunning place to be. Lovely people here who are working here. It's been a really quite a nice day out, so yeah, do come and visit. If you're in this neck of the woods, it's definitely worth your time and effort. Not overly expensive actually either, as far as railway is concerned. As far as Heritage Railway is concerned, actually it's really quite reasonable. So yeah, do come and visit. If you can donate some money to help them restore the trains and keep the stuff going, that's even better. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So from me here at Adventure 82, whatever it is you get up to over your weekend, I hope you've had a nice one. Take care.